On November 5th, Vladimir Putin, participating in a meeting of the Russian Security Council, announced that Russia is prepared to do the same if other countries begin nuclear tests. Putin ordered security officials to verify reports related to U.S. nuclear tests and, if confirmed, to begin preparations for Russia's own tests. Russia last conducted nuclear tests in 1990, when it was still part of the USSR. In this regard, I instruct the special services and relevant civilian agencies to gather additional information on this matter, analyze it, and submit coordinated proposals regarding the possibility of beginning preparations for nuclear weapons tests, Putin said. Russian Defense Minister A. Belousov told Putin that, taking into account recent U.S. actions, he considers it advisable to immediately prepare for full-scale nuclear tests. According to Belousov, Russia's test site in the Novaya Zemlya Islands is in a state of readiness, and tests can be conducted there within a short period. This archipelago, located in Russia's north, was also where the test of the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuclear explosion in USSR history, was conducted. This statement from the Russians comes following an announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump regarding nuclear bomb tests.
The U.S. Air Force conducted an unarmed test launch of a Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile, which is capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. The test launch was conducted from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. The missile traveled approximately 6,700 kilometers and reached its target. This test, designated GT-254, was aimed at assessing the continued reliability, readiness, and accuracy of the intercontinental ballistic missile system, one of the cornerstones of American national defense, the statement said. A few days ago, President Trump had announced Washington's return to nuclear testing. According to him, the U.S. has enough nuclear weapons to blow up the planet 150 times.
The Chinese government has announced a new directive. According to it, all new state-funded data center projects must exclusively use domestically produced artificial intelligence, AI, chips. Two sources familiar with the matter told Reuters about this. In recent weeks, Chinese regulators have ordered the removal of all foreign chips installed in data centers that are less than 30% complete or to cancel their procurement plans. Projects in advanced stages of construction will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis, the sources said. This step could be Beijing's most stringent measure yet towards completely removing foreign technologies from critical infrastructure. Access to advanced AI chips from companies like NVIDIA remains one of the biggest points of contention between the U.S. and China. These chips are crucial for training artificial intelligence and creating high computing power. The decision is seen as Beijing's response to Washington's export restrictions and technological sanctions. United States President Donald Trump said last week, after a meeting with the Chinese leader, "We will let them work with NVIDIA, but not at the most advanced chip level."
The Russian army announced on November 5 that its troops are advancing in the northern part of the city of Pakrovsk and are attempting to gain full control over the city. The Ukrainian army, meanwhile, stated it is fighting hard to prevent the Russians from seizing new territories. Ukrainian soldiers have acknowledged being in a difficult situation in the strategically important eastern city of Pakrovsk. This city was previously an important transport and logistics hub for the Ukrainian army. Russia has been trying to capture it for more than a year. Russia views this city as a path toward occupying the remaining 10% of the Donbas industrial region. This region, in turn, is one of Russia's main objectives in the four-year war. According to the Russian side, Ukrainian soldiers encircled in the city have no choice but to surrender. The Ukrainian army, however, denies that its soldiers are encircled. They maintain that measures are being taken to prevent Russian soldiers from establishing strongholds and to protect logistics routes in the wider region. It is impossible to verify these claims by the parties in combat conditions. Pakrovsk is a road and railway hub in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region with a pre-war population of about 60,000. However, most of the population has now fled and all children have been evacuated. The city now consists of destroyed buildings and cratered roads. The Russian army has stated that it now controls more than 19% of Ukraine's territory, approximately 116,000 square kilometers.
The U.S. federal government has been shut down since October 1st because Congress failed to approve a temporary budget before the start of the new fiscal year. As a result, federal agencies have lost their funding authority and are unable to continue operations. As of November 5th, the government shutdown has lasted 36 days. On Tuesday, the 14th vote held in the Senate to pass a temporary budget bill also failed. Democrats are demanding the extension of health insurance subsidies. Republicans, however, are in favor of passing a temporary budget without any changes. Although Republicans hold 53 of the 100 Senate seats, they need 7 more Democratic votes to pass legislation such as the budget. During the 36-day shutdown, thousands of U.S. federal employees have been furloughed, placed on unpaid leave, but essential services such as the military, intelligence agencies, public hospitals, airports, and prisons are continuing to operate. However, these employees are not receiving their salaries. As a result, disruptions are being felt in many areas, from national parks to food assistance programs. According to the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, the number of flights at 40 airports across the U.S. will be reduced by 10% due to the government shutdown. It is currently unknown when the government will return to normal operations. The Congressional Budget Office warns that the cost of the shutdown could reach $14 billion.